The SGM-43, the machine gun that changed the game in World War II. World War II wasn't just about soldiers clashing on the battlefield or generals plotting strategies. It was a high-stakes race to build better weapons. Imagine it's 1941, and the Soviet Union is reeling from Germany's lightning-fast invasion. The Red Army's trusty Maxim machine gun, a beast in its day, is starting to feel like a dinosaur. Weighing a whopping 150 pounds and relying on finicky water cooling, it was a nightmare to lug around during fast-moving battles. Soldiers needed something lighter, tougher, and ready to fire at a moment's notice. After the Red Army's stunning counteroffensive near Moscow in December 1941, the Soviet leadership realized they couldn't keep dragging the Maxim into modern warfare. They needed a new machine gun, one that was mobile, reliable, and could deliver devastating firepower. This was the challenge that sparked the creation of the SGM-43, a weapon that would become a legend. How did they pull it off in the chaos of war? What made this gun so special? And why does its story still resonate today? Let's dive in and find out. The Maxim machine gun, designed back in the 1880s, was a rock star in its prime. Its relentless firepower and dependability made it a staple in World War I and the early days of World War II. But by 1941, the game had changed. Warfare was now about speed, blitzkrieg tactics, rapid advances, and quick retreats. The Maxim, with its 150-pound bulk and water cooling system, was like trying to run a marathon in a suit of armor. Soldiers had to haul not just the gun, but also water cans for cooling and spare parts, all while dodging bullets and bombs. Picture this: Soviet troops slogging through snow or mud, dragging this beast of a weapon while the enemy closes in. If the water froze in sub-zero Russian winters or leaked during a firefight, the Maxim was toast. By late 1941, after pushing back the Germans near Moscow, the Soviets knew they needed a machine gun that could keep up with the fast-paced, brutal reality of modern war. In May 1942, the Soviet government, led by Commissar Dmitry Ustinov, launched a contest to replace the Maxim. The requirements were clear. The new gun had to be lightweight, easy to produce, and able to fire reliably under any conditions: rain, snow, or scorching heat. Time was ticking, and the stakes couldn't be higher. At the Kovrov factory, a hub of Soviet weapons manufacturing, a team of brilliant engineers got to work. Leading the charge was Pyotr Goryanov, a seasoned designer who'd been tinkering with machine guns before the war even started. Alongside colleagues Voronkov and Goryanov Jr., he spearheaded a project codenamed GVG, named after their initials. This wasn't just a job. It was a mission to save lives and turn the tide of war. Building a new machine gun from scratch was no walk in the park. The team faced endless challenges: limited resources, constant air raids, and the pressure to deliver fast. They'd tested an early prototype in 1941, but it had issues with ejecting spent casings, a small glitch that could jam the gun in combat. Back to the drawing board they went, refining their design for the 1942 contest. That contest was a showdown of engineering genius. GVG competed against designs from Silin, Vladimirov, and Kondakov, each team vying to create the ultimate weapon. But GVG stood out. It was simpler, more reliable, and cheaper to produce. Critical factors when every penny and minute counted. By February 1943, 50 test models aced factory trials, and in May, the gun was officially adopted as the SGM-43. So, what set the SGM-43 apart? Let's break down its genius. Unlike the Maxim's complex recoil system, the SGM-43 used the energy from propellant gases to operate, making it simpler and cheaper to build. It's bolt-locked by tilting to the right, a clever, reliable mechanism that kept the gun firing smoothly and reduced wear on parts. One standout feature was the adjustable barrel clamp. In the heat of battle, machine gun barrels can overheat, forcing crews to swap them out under fire. The SGM SGM-43 made this a breeze, letting soldiers replace the barrel in seconds without burning their hands or breaking the gun. That's the kind of innovation that saves lives. The gun fed from metal belts holding 200 or 250 rounds of 7.62 by 54 millimeters are ammo, the same caliber used in the Mosin-Nagant rifle and Maxim. But the SGM-43's belt was a fresh design, avoiding compatibility issues and streamlining production. Its sights were a step up too, with a frame-style design that allowed for windage adjustments, boosting accuracy at long ranges. Now let's talk firepower. The SGM-43 fired light bullets at 2,800 feet per second and heavier ones at 2,600 feet per second. With muzzle energies of 2,590 foot-pounds for light rounds and 2,785 foot-pounds for heavy ones, it could punch through light cover and wreak havoc on enemy troops. Its effective range was 1,100 yards, with a maximum sighted range of 2,200 yards, impressive for its time. The SGM-43 wasn't just powerful, it was precise, meeting the strict accuracy standards of World War II. Designing a great weapon is one thing. Getting it to the front lines is another. In 1943, the SGM-43 went into mass production at Factory No. 2 in Gorky, now Nizhny Novgorod. Over the course of the war, more than 80,000 units rolled off the assembly lines, a staggering feat for a country under siege. At its peak, the factory churned out about 10,000 guns a year, working around the clock to arm the Red Army. But a machine gun is only as good as its ammo supply. The Soviets set up a robust logistics chain, delivering ammo belts, spare barrels, manuals, and repair kits to the front. Despite constant German bombings and resource shortages, this system kept the SGM-43 firing. The gun's versatility was a huge plus. It could be mounted on wheeled Degtyaryov tripods, Sidorenko-Malinovsky tripods, or even tanks and armored vehicles, making it a go-to weapon for every branch of the military. The SGM-43 hit the battlefield in the winter of 1943 to 1944, and it was love at first shot. Soldiers praised its lightweight design, compared to the Maxim, reliability, and ease of use. No more messing with water cans. The SGM-43's air-cooled barrel meant it could keep firing in freezing Russian winters or scorching summers. At just a fraction of the Maxim's weight, it was a godsend for mobile units. In offensive operations, the SGM-43 suppressed enemy positions, clearing the way for infantry advances. In defense, it laid down walls of lead to stop enemy assaults. With an optional anti-aircraft sight, it could even take pot shots at low-flying planes, a lifesaver when German Stukas were buzzing overhead. Soviet troops nicknamed it their reliable buddy, always ready to back them up. The SGM-43 didn't just shine in World War II. It saw action in the Korean War, Vietnam War, and even some 21st century conflicts. Why? Because it was tough, simple, and deadly effective, qualities that never go out of style. The SGM-43 wasn't a one-and-done deal. By 1945, an upgraded version, the SGM, hit the scene with a rib barrel for better cooling, a side-mounted charging handle, and an improved barrel clamp. 4 armored vehicles, the SGM-B and SGM-T variants, were developed, the latter featuring an electric trigger for tank crews to fire from inside their turrets. Ergonomics were a big focus. The SGM-43 was designed for soldiers to fire comfortably from prone, kneeling, or standing positions. Its sights ensured pinpoint accuracy at long ranges, and the trigger was balanced to prevent accidental shots while staying responsive. The gun's recoil was tamed by its smart tripod design, reducing strain during long firefights. The SGM-43's DNA lived on in other weapons. China produced it as the Type 53, and the upgraded SGM became the Type 57. Its design influenced machine guns in South Africa, SS-77, Yugoslavia, KGK, and beyond. Even the iconic Kalashnikov machine gun borrowed some of its ideas. In 1956, a derivative competed in a Soviet contest for a new standard machine gun. And though it lost to the Kalashnikov, its innovations shaped future designs. To grasp the SGM-43's impact, let's zoom out to the Soviet Union's wartime economy. By 1943, the USSR was pouring roughly 50% of its GDP into the war effort, an astronomical commitment. Factories were relocated to the Ural Mountains to escape German advances. And the workforce was stretched thin, relying on women, teens, and the elderly. Yet against all odds, Soviet industry delivered. Producing an SGM-43 cost about 1,500 rubles, roughly $300 in 1943 dollars, far less than the maxim. This affordability meant the Red Army could field thousands of these guns quickly, giving them a critical edge. The SGM-43 wasn't just a weapon. It was a testament to Soviet resilience and ingenuity, proving that even in the darkest times, innovation could thrive. As a history buff, I'm blown away by the SGM-43 story. It's not just about gears and steel. It's about people rising to impossible challenges. The engineers who built it worked in freezing factories, under constant threat of air raids, with barely enough resources to scrape by. Yet they delivered a weapon that saved countless lives and helped turn the tide of war. The SGM-43 is a reminder that human grit and creativity can overcome any obstacle. It's a story of ordinary people doing extraordinary things, and it inspires me to think about what we can achieve when we push past our limits. What do you think? Doesn't this make you wonder what we're capable of today? While the SGM-43 is no longer in active military use, its legacy lives on. You can find it in museums, at historical reenactments, or featured in movies and books. It's a tangible link to a pivotal moment in history, a symbol of innovation under pressure. If you ever get the chance, visit a military museum to see one up close. Imagine the soldiers who relied on it, the engineers who built it, and the battles it shaped. The SGM-43 story is one of triumph, ingenuity, and sheer determination. If you loved this deep dive into history, hit that subscribe button to stay in the loop for more epic stories. Drop a comment below. Tell us what you think about the SGM-43 or share your favorite World War II weapon. Let's keep the conversation going and honor the legacy of those who shaped history. Subscribe, comment, and see you in the next story.